Mm.
Well, jumping back in with roaring winds and shaking ground. Your party is standing in the midst of the barbed fields with an earth primordial less than 60 foot above you. Knocks you to your feet a few times. A few spells are expended to keep BL from passing out again and again. But your party, for the most part, is fine. And the creature flies away, seemingly in the direction of the Empire, without accosting you further. Your brother is returned to you, even though he didn't necessarily recognize you immediately. He quickly comes to do so, and will joyfully begin a conversation and start asking you a bunch of things about your recent past and what you've been doing all these years. Conversations are kind of dull, however, as you're more worried about that thing that just flew overhead and realistically where to go next. Your brother says he's going to join you as he did ask for leave, and Luke told him he could go wherever he wanted to until he was needed. So, you're free to go. What are y'all doing?
Did okay? So what did okay? So you said the elemental looked like Oscar last time, like
It
last
looked
mission.
like a giant snake with like earthy wings made of metallic, like solid metal and crystal, all up and down its body. It was carrying a dust storm with it, alongside throwing rocks and breaking off pillars of these large barbed hairs of stone in the area. And it looked like there was a rider wearing jagged armor that looked like a dwarven figure. You don't necessarily know if it was Oscar or not, but it correlates heavily with him, even though he already lost championship of one primordial. He kinda already attributes himself to primordials due to his phoenix loving time.
Two questions. Should we follow that? And Skins, did you recognize that fellow?
Alright, on. Okay. Skins, even with his high perception, he couldn't see anything.
He couldn't see exactly who it was. The only reason you could see through the dust storm at all is because of your high perception.
Okay. Skins, kind of dusting himself all off as all the dust particles around him is have him dirty and like covered in dirt, pretty much. Kind of just like dusting himself off, coughs a little bit, looks up at William. I couldn't really get a good look at him. Ah,
Hold your breath whenever a dust storm comes in, bud.
yeah, sure. Yeah, like I could do that in the span of what was it, 5 seconds?
You seem like standing strong up against a stone, breathing normally. It's a skill issue, man. Anyways, should we
All right.
follow that
Well,
creature?
I don't think we have the speed to. Even Bat can't catch that thing. And plus, that thing's too big.
There.
Uh, but that does prove an issue now. Oh. Skins kind of rubs his face a little bit, and then just rubs his eyes. Immediately he's already tired from what has just happened. Skins is going to then look over at Godwin and his brother. I forgot his name.
He didn't give
Then
a
again,
name.
yeah, I didn't give he didn't give a name anyway. Um, Skins kind of like just goes over to Godwin a little bit, looking up at him. So, is this him?
Yes.
Skins kind of like gives out a small sigh of relief, as luckily nothing too bad happened. Oh, okay, well, that's a relief. I'm glad he's okay, and I'm glad we found him. Usually things don't work out this way. but I guess we got lucky. I'm not going to talk about what we just fight as long as no one else talks about because I have no clue what any of those were, and where did the rest go? Did anyone see where the smaller ones went?
No, they went to the deepest pits of hell. And Godwin's just gonna start walking away.
Uh, oh, Godwin, where are you going?
Anywhere where I can get a beer and a bed.
Oh, buddy, don't worry. I have beer if you want some.
Ooh, make it a double, please.
Sure
And
thing.
and he's gonna wait down the road on you guys.
I'll instantly make 2 full cups of whiskey and bring it down to Godwin.
Skins, is going to take one final look around the place. Is the water not the water? Is the ground still like watery?
The ground has the weird texture look of it, like the waves of rolling dirt or whatever, but it seems frozen in time. Like, it doesn't seem to be actively watery any more than anywhere else is, especially after the dust storm. And the textured look of it, you can immediately assume what it was, because you know several new locations with that same wavy texture. It's likely where the earth elemental comes out and goes into the ground.
Well, this is going to be a quite an issue. Oh, why do we have so much weight on our shoulders? And then Skins is just going to, although he didn't get hurt in the fight at all from whatever we just fought, the knocking around and the storm did kind of like take some energy out of him. He just gently rubs his eyes and starts walking down to where William and Godwin went.
All right. So, is your party heading back to Rosanna?
Yeah. Trent, can I make a Constitution save for the drink?
Sure.
He's drinking 2 full cups of whiskey.
I make those with disadvantage. I remember.
Oh
Oh,
God!
yeah.
Twice as
Drunk.
Yeah,
drunk.
this is the first time that he's done it since the heart, so he wouldn't know.
Turn on your camera, bud. There you go, bud.
Shut up, nerd.
Shut up, you little loser.
Okay, that's a 17
Disadvantage, though.
plus 3, so 20, dirty 20, and a 7.
All right. Yeah, you're drunk. Pretty bad. And it is a weird flavor. The alcohol produced by this, while being a relatively fine whiskey that goes down reasonably smooth, it has a weird like if you get like something that is obviously mashed together other stuff, like, you know those Salisbury steaks and TV dinners, how they don't really feel like any other type of meat, they just feel like an amalgamation of meat.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this feels like. An amalgamation of a bunch of different alcohols.
Oh,
Poor and high
Nice.
quality, but it has a reasonable flavor and reasonable texture other than that.
How'd you like my homemade whiskey? Godwin?
Godwin is like struggling to stay on his feet at the moment. Like he's stumbling a little, and he looks at you. I'm very, very fine.
You're already a little drunk. And I make some for Nimi as they ask for some. I'll give Nimi a cup of whiskey as well.
Let's not get too drunk here. We're still out in the middle of the open.
You want some water instead, Skins? Clip your throat.
I can find my own water.
Okay. Let me make a con save.
By the way, Damien, as you,
You good?
as William, did you tell everyone about the Palma Flora, or are you gonna do that later?
I'm not gonna tell them.
Okay.
You can tell.
No, I'm saying, like, as William, are you gonna tell us?
You're the one with the sending stones.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then yeah, I'll tell them. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll tell them.
Lol,
Okay.
silly boy.
Sorry.
Goofy.
I'm a little dozy. All right. Yeah, I'll tell you guys about it.
Luckily, we're not fighting anything.
No, dude, I know what to do. Hex, cast a spell on my sword, hit them. All I do.
Alright. So, I'm assuming you tell us now while Godwin's drunk and Nimi's probably drunk.
No, they made an 18. They might be like getting a little buzz
Tipsy.
on.
Nimi
Yeah.
is unreasonably constitutional. Like really hard to have anything happen to them.
Yeah, they're fine,
Okay.
but Godwin's a little bad. But yeah, I do say as the moment you said you can get some own water, I'm like, oh guys, by the way, I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, wow, okay, they're really proactive. I honestly thought they'd just be sitting around at the gates for a bit, but okay. Then again, it's been how many months since we last seen them?
I don't
I
know.
don't know, but I told you keeping Arctic as my pet was a good idea.
Well, I don't know about a pet, but I mean, that could work.
No, he's agreed to being his pet. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's for so much of a lack of knowledge of so. But in
No.
any case, uh, I guess we could go there. Skin's kind of like thanks for a moment. Wait, Palma Flora is that one island that sunk when we first met, right, William?
Holy crap. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I mean, that place seemed pretty nice besides the fish people,
Yeah.
but I mean, Skin's kind of like thanks for a second. He then thanks back to his village and knowing like how much of a horrible spot they're in, literally between the Kreen and the Dwindles, and knowing at any point a Dwindle or a Kreen army could just rush over them. He kind of gets a bit homesick at that as he's thinking, but he also part of him like kind of gets worried as that's always been a fear in the back of his head, but if more so now, it's been kind of nagging at him for the past few months.
Should I send them back a message saying that we're going on our way there?
uh, yeah, but before we go anywhere, I know it's gonna be a long trek, and I know time isn't probably of our essence here because we've got so many things to do. I think maybe we should go back to my village for a bit.
Yeah, sure, but I will let them know still that we're gonna be on our way there soon.
What's the name of the town that we just came from?
Rosanna.
Uh, is Arizona on the way?
I mean, is it on the way or is it? No, we're going further away from my village, isn't it?
Really depends on how you view it. Because going to Rosanna, you can inform the Archmage to teleport directly to Rexingtrum, and that would make the time a lot shorter. But if you don't do that and are physically walking to Rosanna and then all the way to your village, it would make it longer.
Okay, so Rexingtrum is technically shorter.
If you teleport from Rosanna to Rexingtrum, it'll be a far shorter journey.
Okay. Technically, we'd have to do a little bit of that magic stuff, but I mean, I mean, hey, maybe they'll allow us to use the portal again. Back to the dwindles.
I can teleport us. There's no need.
Oh, wait, really?
Oh yeah, I remember the portal code of runes.
Well, that's certainly handy. That might actually be really useful when we get that place up and running. If we do get it, but in any case, I don't cast it right now. I don't think you're in any condition to start casting.
No, I think it's okay. You should cast it.
Well,
Uh, watch this. And he starts trying to he like starts scribbling runes on the floor like he's making a teleportation circle, but like he screwed up somewhere and it like starts sucking his arm into it and it's like trying to pull him inside. Oh god.
uh, why did you egg him on? Why did you tell him that? Why, William? Please, we don't want to lose someone already.
We're really
Actually, I
bad
don't
at
even know what
magical
happened.
circles.
I don't know what. I don't even know what that would do to him. Like, what? Skin just kind of goes on like a ramble now. And he kind of, as he's like trying to like tend to Godwin a little bit.
Bro, what are you doing, Willow?
Trey, I'm gonna send a message to them back.
To who?
The person that just sent me a message for the sending stones.
Oh, you're gonna respond to Faye?
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna count this. Hey, yeah, we're on our way back soon. We're gonna go to Rexentrum and Goblin's Village. Then, yeah, let them know we're on our way.
Let them know we're on our. And that's it. That's what they get.
If they're gonna respond back.
They sent you a message today. They can't respond back.
No, they can respond back. It's how sending. It's like it's
Oh,
actually
yeah,
casting the
yeah.
sending
I
spell.
forget.
I was in combat, so I couldn't message. I couldn't send them back because I was a little bit of a.
Faye responds. Okay, what did you say there? I was too busy counting.
Hey, I'm gonna shorten it down. Hey, yeah, we're going to Rexentrum, but we're on our way there soon.
Okay. Faye will respond. Fair enough. He will wait. Help when you can. We cleared Palma Flora. We located a Iron Shepherd hideout. Meet us in Nicodranus whenever. Or the gates. Tell ahead of time.
Guys, they cleared Pomafloa, found an Iron Shepherd's hideout, and want us to meet up at Nicodranus or at the gates.
Well, can't really know where they're going. Uh, but I mean, we're heading to Nicodranus anyway, if I remember correctly. Because that's where Halas is,
I don't
I
know.
think.
Yes.
Is that where he is? Okay, I was just making sure. Okay. Skin's kind of like thinks for a moment. Looks back at Godwin. Are you okay? Maybe you should, get some rest.
A scroll shopping when we get back.
You want more whiskey?
I don't mind if I do.
I give him 2 more cups.
Oh God.
You're gonna kill him with drink, bro.
That's fine. I'm gonna
You can't-
add in the little bit of whiskey I stole from the dead guy. Pour
You
it
mean
in
the
there.
actual swill, bro?
Yeah.
That is not good, but okay, yeah.
Oh
Bring
no.
it.
The second
Putting it
time
in
you
there.
drink
Are you
it,
gonna
it
die?
tastes even worse.
Make a con save again,
No,
bud.
you're not gonna die. It just tastes real garbage.
Oh, make
Frick it.
another con save because if you do, you could like pass out of being just too drunk.
Nim also wants more. God.
All right, sure. I give Nim another cup,
Okay, that's a 6, I think.
but reroll. Yeah, disadvantage. Make a natural
9.
one.
And a 5, so 8.
All right, so an 8 and 17. Nimi's still good.
Godwin, you pass out.
Well, bottoms up, I guess.
Uh,
After a cup of whiskey.
I'm staying sober. At least one of us needs to stay sober. Actually, you know what? Skins is going to whistle for Bat. Bat's going to come flying, and
My con
Bat's going to keep an eye out with Skins.
+4. Okay. Who can pick up him? No, he's not. He's not unconscious. He's just a little. Well, not. He's not dead. He's just unconscious. That's what I meant to say.
He's
He's
not
just a little-
unconscious. He's just a little knocked out right now.
just
Oh, 19. I'm all good.
William, of course, William could say.
I'm gonna smack him with a baseball bat. I form my sword into a baseball bat and I just swing it toward him.
Nim just kicks him.
I read that just.
You guys just start abusing Godwin. Godwin is unconscious and cannot
Wake
fight
up!
back.
Oh
Wake
my
up!
God. Stop kicking him! Skins is going to just like. Skins is then going to pick up Godwin, using his surprisingly great goblin strength, and just just pretty much just start dragging him.
You start
How'd you
dragging him
kick
to a
me?
camp nearby.
Drag him.
I mean, I can't pick him up. What are you
I
do?
can't even pick him up. I think you're stronger than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think Nimi is the only one that probably could out of our group right now.
Yeah, well, Skins is gonna drag him to a camp, gently place him against a tree, just gently pats his head, and then goes up to Bat. Bat he gets on Bat. Bat goes up to a tree, and Skins just kind of like hangs upside down.
Hey
with
Trent,
Bat.
Yeah.
do you know how like if someone's unconscious or like asleep, they can wake up from like some salt?
Sure.
I'm gonna make my alchemy jug produce salt water, and I'm just gonna like put it up against his nose. And then I'm
I
gonna, like-
mean, you realize salt water doesn't have like a strong smell.
I know. I'm gonna put it up against his nose. If he doesn't wake up, I'm gonna start waterboarding him.
Well, he doesn't.
my
he
God.
doesn't wake up from the smell. So you start to waterboard him. He is unconscious because of too much alcohol. He cannot respond. Like,
Never mind.
He begins to sober up slightly, but you could easily, if you waterboarded him until he reacted, drown him before he reacts.
I won't drown him.
Actually, lucky enough, I don't think he needs to breathe.
He doesn't have to breathe. Oh my god. I won't even wake you up from water. I'll just be like, oh my god. Like, you guys see like water going inside of his nose and he's just not waking up. I'm like, guys, I think he is dead. I'm gonna check for a heartbeat.
Skins is
don't
gonna
feel
try
a
and just
heartbeat.
fall asleep.
Guys? He don't got a heartbeat, guys.
William, shut up.
No, chick! Oh wait, he's dead like me. Never mind. He's already dead. Well,
Skins is like Skins is like gonna just like throw like a small pebble at William as he's just hanging upside down.
I teleport and catch it in my hand. I'm like, and then like I go to sleep.
Okay. He just teleports and just falls unconscious like while standing up.
Yeah, no, I teleport into the air and I fall asleep. Literally, I literally fall asleep.
Rest through the night in their unconscious stupor, relatively peacefully. No threats, other than you start to hear more screaming in the distance, far enough away you're not particularly worried about it. The next day comes and the screaming quiets. You're sober now. So now that you're sober, what are y'all doing? Standing in the middle of this abyss, pretty much.
Do I wake up and I see Godwin getting up?
I mean, yeah, Godwin's alive. He wakes up normally.
Godwin, are you dead?
That's a hard question to answer.
We kind of put you unconscious and then we waterboarded you and we thought we killed you.
That's why I had a dream I was drowning.
How'd you not die? We put like I
Well,
think I put like 8 gallons of salt water into your nose. If I'm not wrong.
well, ever since I've gotten this heart, it hasn't. I haven't really had the hunger or felt the need to breathe. Like when I get absorbed in my notes, sometimes it was a habit that I would forget to breathe, and then I started to notice that I was going hours without a single breath.
They say you don't
Well,
have to breathe anymore.
Um, I suppose so. I don't know how well it would work underwater, but seeing as you just waterboarded me, I guess it would work pretty well.
Is this
um,
the crystal or? Because that is magical. Because I'm pretty sure you breathed before.
Yes, I did. So that's my best guess. Because
I
Also,
didn't see, I didn't see you moving when you breathed.
hmm. Also, better question: where's the 8 gallons of salt water in your body?
um, probably somewhere around me. I don't know.
That's gonna either be the worst piss of your life or the worst vomit of your life.
Uh, okay. Well, as much fun as I love, sitting around in the Kreen wilderness, should we get a move on?
Yes.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
All right. Skins, then start like kind of like get climbed back on Bat the right way as he as the entire time he's just been upside down, uh, pretty much the entire night on top of a tree. Skins looks down at them. Well, I suppose let's get going. We didn't bring any horses for you guys. I can't. Well, then again, I guess if we did, but that the horses might have gotten spooked. So that is an issue.
I'm just gonna ride around on my broom.
I can fly.
All right.
Nem, you have an issue? Can you do anything?
Name can fly too.
During dark time, yeah.
No. Doesn't she have a magical broom as well?
No, Finlay did.
Most
Oh,
friendly.
yeah, different character.
Meta, meta, meta. What are you talking about?
Wait, if we're around some trees and she can get in the shade, that counts as dim
Okay,
light.
the Kree dynasty you do recognize is extremely devoid of life.
Never mind.
Also, she could fly for maybe 2 steps per
Never mind.
tree.
Just get on the broom if God will.
So where y'all flying to?
Yes, to
Um,
Rosanna.
Yeah. I need to do some scroll shopping.
I need to
Your
go
druid friend
shopping.
and brother will turn into a eagle and fly alongside you guys.
Meanwhile, Biel just gets left behind.
No, Beal will get on
I don't care about Bea.
one
No,
of
leave
y'all's
him.
brooms.
Leave him be. Leave him be.
Yeah,
But
we could use BL as bait for those guys that were screaming. We should make BL go fight all of them by himself.
smart move, smart move. Making your way back to Rosana in a timely manner. No harassment happens on the road. You're careful not to touch the metal as you're re-entering the city, and you return once more without any particular distress along the travels. You're back in the very overfilled and very beautiful Drow City. You guys can shop here, purchase anything, go back to that house and talk to more people there if those are still alive. Talk to your exes, all sorts of possibilities.
Nope. Let me look around.
I need like a an arcane library or something. I need to buy some scrolls so I can learn a new spell.
All right, you head into the city where the common folk live, searching around for any sort of knowledge shop in the area. Doesn't take long to find some relatively knowledgeable wizard folk. Having hundreds of years, people get bored of swords, or vice versa. And finding your way inside, you note it is a mom and pop shop style, very like home cooking. And the magic that's around here is very similar in style to that. Similar to like the old Harry Potter movies where you would have pots and pans washing themselves. You instead see dishware that is forever clean, or dishware that will repair itself if it's broken. The self-cooking steak machine, and all it is you put a piece of meat in and it'll give you a steak out. All of these things are very simple magic shops, though you do note some as you get toward the back of the shop and toward the more pricier section, valuable segments as well. Several magic items ranging anywhere from scrolls to amulets of protection, rings that have spells stored in them, pearls of power, all of these things just around.
Is there a cape of the Mountebank? Sorry. It is a cape. While wearing it, you can cast Dimension Doors in action, and it can't be used until next dawn.
What's it called?
Cape of the Mountebank, yeah.
What's its rarity? Uncommon?
Rare.
Rare?
It's rare, dude.
I would probably...
Surprisingly, it should be a cheap thing. It's just Dimension Door once.
If you want to try and buy that, I'm probably going to charge you 1,500.
Okay. I'll keep that on the side for a second.
Alright, what are you buying, Galwin?
I want a first level spell, detect magic.
Give me a solid 40 gold for that, and then you'll be good.
And I think I want to try to get a 5th level spell as well, if that's possible.
These people are knowledgeable in magic. This is one of the folk who have specialized in it for long enough periods of time. They could probably create anything that you really want here or have it shipped in. And you know that there is other workers here. It's not like a actual mom and pop shop where there's 2 people running the entire shop night and day or whatever, or only on weekends. This is a business made mostly for a more comfy style existence.
Be right back.
After a certain point, people get exhausted with trying to be fancy. And this is what this place is for. To get the menial task out of the way. But you can get anything you want here. These people are skillful. And there are many adventurers who are still young drow, and other races, that would still require these supplies. You're going to get... Oh, you want to get another set of sunglasses to stop you from having disadvantage? Okay. Holy symbol, don't necessarily have to buy here, but I'll charge you, let's say, 10 gold for a holy symbol. And for the glasses, I'm probably going to charge you 70 gold.
Bigby's hand is a weird spell.
It's pretty good, though. As long as you're maintaining concentration, that is.
Create spell jamming helm.
Some of those are Unearthed Arcana. Make sure they're not. Because I think that's from Spelljammer, the setting.
Source Spelljammer Adventures in Space.
Yeah, don't use that.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry. Oh, my has to go to the hospital for a memo. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
What about Sean? What are you buying?
Well, I mean, besides just spell scrolls and like other trinkets, or like what do they have? Like specifically that would fit for a ranger.
Um, there is scrolls of what's it called? Pass without trace. You could get probably some scrolls of invisibility here. That might be useful. One set of arrows that what you understand they do is they multiply as you fire them. They're an arrow with arrows inside. And all that really ends up doing is you shoot a point, and everywhere within 5 foot of that point gets shot with a lesser version of that same arrow. The other type of arrow you find here looks to be a regular arrow, but a portion of the actual shaft has been hollowed out, and there seems to be a vial containing some clear liquid on the inside. And it just is labeled impact arrows. Caution.
Skins kind of like takes a glance at those. Kind of goes over to the impact arrows, stares at them for a moment, and like looks back at. I'm assuming Kreen are the ones. Drow elves are running the shop, right?
One of the drow elves seems to be like the boss of the area. There's two younger looking ones that are probably only 17 or so years old. Very, very young for a drow as they're not fully mature. And probably a small dwarven fellow who is standing by the door as like a guard of the place. So all in all, about 4 people in here, but the main manager boss dude seems to be a probably at least 100-year-old drow.
Okay. Skins kind of like looks over at the older man. Skins kind of like points at the arrows, like, what do these arrows do?
Those, my good sir, are arrows of impact. The oil contained inside the vial is called oil of impact. You shoot it, breaks the vial, the oil of impact impacts, and explodes, increasing the damage of your blow substantially. They're very dangerous, however, and if you are attacked while having them in your inventory, available to be used, that is, you may have some caution, or some issues, I mean. Just keep them stored away in a safe place, out of reach, if you're spotted, and ready for only stealth missions, probably, or only 1 or 2 at a time. Because if you get hit with 20 of those in your back pocket, you're eviscerated. Guaranteed.
That sounds very tempting.
They do a good amount of explosive damage.
Alright, you know what? How much for 3 of them?
Each arrow is around 20 gold pieces, so it's not that much. 60 gold for the batch of 3, and each arrow out of game does about a D10 fire damage.
Okay. Would I do my normal damage or no?
Yeah, you do your normal damage because the arrowhead still hits, but you also do a D10 fire damage. The only thing that is a limiter on this is that he says there are only 12 in stock at the moment.
Okay, well I'm only gonna take like a portion of it anyway. Like I'm only taking 3. Skins does hand him the 60 gold. Actually, he literally just puts like he literally just puts like what was it, 6 platinum on on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me write this down. If anyone else has to buy anything, do that.
By the
And
way,
probably...
one thing you do have to write down as well. You have to tell me. Yeah, I'm getting back to you, Willow, in a second. But make sure to, whenever combat starts, call out how many of these arrows you have prepared at the time, and you can only use the number of arrows you have called out at the start of combat for how many you have out. Because if you are melee attacked while having any arrows outside of a safe storage compartment and out of reach for the combat, unless you use a full action to get to them, you will have to make a dexterity saving throw and try and catch the vial, more or less, Otherwise, your arrow could very easily jostle enough to detonate and do
Okay,
fire
make a-
damage to yourself.
If I'm hit with a melee attack, and make a dex save.
Yeah, DC is half the damage or 10, so it's not super hard.
So kind of like a con save, but with dex.
Basically, concentration save
Yeah.
or your freaking arrow explodes, but with
If I'm hit with a
dexterity.
melee attack, make a dex save. DC 10 or half the damage. So does that mean if I get like above a 10 or like
That means
above
if they
half the
if
damage?
they do 12 damage, that would be a half down to 6, so you have to save against a 10. But if they deal 30 damage, you have to save against a 15.
Okay. Okay, so like the 10 is just like if the roll's lower.
Yeah, if the damage is less than 10 damage, it's a 10 to save.
Okay, because I
Uh-huh.
that was like the one thing that was a bit confused on con saves, but
Back to Nim. 500 gold for a bag of holding, and depending on what kind of diamond you want to buy, it'll depend on the gold cost. Like, if you want to buy something for Revivify, I think it's 300 gold. Raise Dead, I think it's 500 gold. You can buy whatever kind of diamonds you're looking for whatever value you're looking for. Just make sure you're looking at the spell, because it'll tell you how much it costs.
Adjustments are sunglasses and another holy symbol.
Alright, so you're looking for a bag of holding, which is 500, and 300 for the diamond. I already did the list of that.
Oh, okay. Sean, I also have some. Not Sean. Trent.
Yep.
Sorry. Darren's instant fortress.
No.
Oh,
oh,
damn.
That is a
I don't even-
super busted item.
It
I
is.
don't know what that does.
It
I don't
know.
grows a fortress immediately around you.
Sean, you want me to read it off? I will.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of curious.
It's a 1-inch metal cube, and if I speak its command word, the cube rapidly grows into a fortress and remains there until I use my action to dismiss it. Which works only if the fortress is empty. It is a 20-foot on each side and 30-foot high, with arrow slits on all sides with a battlement atop it. Its interior is divided into 2 floors with a ladder running along one wall to connect them. The ladder ends at a trapdoor leading to the roof. When activated, the tower has a small door on the side facing you. The door only opens at my command, which I have to speak as a bonus action. It is immune to knock and the charm of opening item. Anyone that is in the area where the fortress appears has to make a DC 15 dex save or take 10d10 bludgeoning damage on a failed or half as much on a success. In either case, a creature is pushed in an occupied space outside of it, but next to the fortress, objects also do the same thing. The tower is made of adamantine, and its magic prevents it from being tipped over. The roof, the door, and the walls each have 100 hit points. Immunity to damage from non-magical weapons, including siege weapons, and resistance to all other damage.
Yeah. So even if they have several catapults next to you, they can't do anything about that.
I wish you would give me that. Maybe later game.
What does this do? I'm looking up spell scrolls for
Alright,
rangers, which I don't know why I never thought it so.
fine. A flying chariot.
No. You have brooms already, bro. Take your brooms.
But no, the chariot's riders and creatures pulling the chariot gain a +1 to their AC.
I know. That's why you're going to use your brooms.
Chariots, okay. What about a folding boat?
That one doesn't seem that bad. What is that? What does that one do? Is it just a boat that folds?
The object appears as a wooden box that measures 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 6 inches deep. It weighs 4 pounds and floats. It can be opened to store items inside. Some also has 3 command words. One command word causes the box to unfold to become like a bigger boat. It can hold up to 4 medium creatures comfortably. The second command word makes it even bigger, holding up to 15 medium creatures comfortably. And the third command word folding boat back in. Okay, causes the folding boat to come back into a box.
I mean, sure. You can have that. What's the rarity of it?
Right here.
I'd probably charge you 2,000 for it, considering you
I don't
can
want
carry 15 people. It's a pretty good amount. It's also magical, so technically you can sail over lava.
Okay, so
Oh my
question.
god.
That's why it's
Question.
good. That's why I'm charging you so much.
Okay, so say if I get like a high level, like I can only cast second levels right now. So say if I got like a high level, what do I have to do to activate that?
You mean like a scroll?
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
And it is 10 plus the scrolls level if it is above a spell slot you have currently. So if you want to cast a third level spell right now, you have to make an Arcana check DC 13.
Yeah, it would have been cool if I can get fucking what was it? Quiver, because that's a really cool one.
Then buy it.
I don't want to. That'd be a DC 15, 15 save for that, so I'm not gonna be able to do that with skins. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna stick with second levels. But there's none. There's none for second levels.
Can I
No.
get Mirror of the Past?
What are these freaking weird ones you're looking at, Damien? Yeah, what is it?
Platinum Hand Mirror. The holder of the Platinum Hand Mirror can learn something about the history of a specific object or creature by taking an action to gaze into the mirror and think of the object, a target or object. And then for a minute, I just gain knowledge about what happened, about the history of it.
Most
I
wizard
mean,
spells are
if
verbal.
that's
Huh?
all it does, what rarity is it?
Rare.
That's only like $1,000 then, because I can choose what I'm giving you for the history of the object. It could be anything, so it's not super busted.
I don't think I really need that. I'm thinking about making. Gosh, should I get that boat? I don't know, man. That boat's pretty cool.
Okay, so Trent. So how much would 2 scrolls of passive Watch Trace cost?
They're just second levels, right?
Not passive Watch Trace. I mean silence.
That's a first level, isn't it?
No, that's a second level still.
Probably 100 gold apiece.
Okay. So it's like what? That's 10 plat.
Yeah.
Okay, taking that. I'm taking 2 of them.
Should I get the Professor Orb?
What is the Professor Orb, bro?
It is just a floating orb, 5 pound sphere. Uh, it is sentient. It has an 18 intelligence. I'm going to use the one they gave us. 11 wisdom and a 9 charisma. Uh, the orb speaks, reads, and understands. Where is it? Common, Draconic, Elvish, or Laros. And Laros, sorry. The orb's and it can see out to normally to a range of 60 feet. And it has no goals of its own and cannot initiate a conflict with the creature in possession of it. And has a +9 to intelligence check to recall lore. And it has the mind of a scholar and can cast Mage Hand.
So it is a smart guy trapped in an orb
Yes.
that you can use to recall information for you.
Yes.
If you want that, what rarity is it?
Still rare.
Probably still gonna charge you about $1,000.
Wait, that's a bad idea because what about my shield? It's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Never mind. I'm just looking at all these stupid things.
One thing you do see, is called the Blade of the Samurai, and it is on the side of the blade called Perfection. It's just named Perfection, but it is under the cursed items category in the shop. It is known cursed item. The label tells you exactly what it does. It will, every time you hit an attack, increase your plus to hit up to a +3, but every time you miss an attack, take your plus to hit down 1, down to a -3. Every time it stacks. It's like 1 all the way down. So if you miss 3 times in a row from a 0, that means you're at a -3 to hit. If you hit 3 times in a row from a 0, a +3 to hit. And it'll fluctuate up and down by 1 each time you hit to a max of +3 and a max of -3.
Is that all it does? Like, there's no extra damage. Just
The
plus.
it allows you to have the plus to hit, but other than that, whenever you're at a +3 and you critical hit with a +3, you heal yourself a D10, and if you critical miss on a -3, you take 2d12 psychic damage.
Ooh. Okay.
Wait, how much would it be if I put it on my normal sword? A lot.
You mean like to attach it to what you already own?
Yes.
I think your sword's already pretty good, isn't it?
2d8 plus a d6 damage. Oh, it's a d8 of normal magical slashing, d8 of radiant, d6 of cold, and
Yeah,
that's
if you did
all
that, it would be
damage to
pretty
first life.
expensive. I'd probably charge you like 10,000 gold for it.
I have exactly 10,000 gold.
I mean, you could do that. It would be a benefit and a
I
negative in some ways because you would have such a high plus to hit. It would be hard to miss that often. But if you
Yeah.
did, it would kind of screw you up.
yeah, but
Mm,
isn't it like if you get a natural one though? Didn't you say like
I'll take some
Oh,
damage.
if you're already at a -3 and you get a natural one, you take 2d12.
Yeah, it's only whenever
I
I
don't
get.
know.
I don't miss
I
that
won't.
often.
Yeah, but Damien, you might miss after you buy that sword. Just think about it.
For Sean.
But the plus to
It's
hit though.
for Sean, yeah, the
Oh,
plus the hit
it
and the
also
extra
the
health.
reason you're taking this damage is because it is inhabited by an ancient samurai from the Menagerie Coast, that apparently curses at you and screams every time, like angrily at you every time you miss, and whenever you hit, it congratulates you, and that's what's
So is it?
happening.
So is it
Also,
sentient? Is it sentient?
It is partially sentient, but not really. It's not like an actual person. It's more like the words of a training mentor relayed back to you repeatedly. Nothing that your shield would really compete with, because you can't really fall in love with a broken record.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it, man. I mean, yeah,
Bro,
it does sound good, but Damien, that's 10,000 gold down the gutter.
and that's
But think
listen, bro.
about that plus to hit and that plus
Sean,
to
think about
damage,
the
bro.
plus the hit and all like the damage and the health back, man.
What was the plus to damage? Like, was it nothing?
It's
It's
+3 if
nothing.
you hit three
It's plus
times.
three. Yeah, I get +1, +2, +3, and whenever I crit with a +3, I gain health back, bro. You know how good I
You
am at
do,
roller.
and you do have a higher chance of critting if you
I
could
already
actually.
have like a +11 or +12 to hit normally whenever it's cursed. That's like what 14, maybe
I
15D.
don't know,
That's
man. I think I
crazy.
think I think there'd be
It's
like
an
a bunch of.
attunement slot, however. You're gonna have to attune to it.
But I'm putting on my normal sword, so it just goes together.
True.
So it's
Yeah, but
fine.
Damien, we could use that money for so many other things.
Well, I'm not getting the fortress. What else am I gonna get?
Uh, Other things that aren't really weapons, more so of an advantage with money.
I already have the mountain bag. That's what made me go down to like 10,000 something. I have a little bit more. I have like 10,000, maybe like 10,500. Uh, bro, think about it though, dude.
Bro, I don't think it's
I
worth it. To
think it's. I'm gonna
be
wait for
honest.
Eden to come back. If Eden's here, I want him to talk to me about this. Because that's a crazy amount of damage, bro. It sounds so
Uh,
cool.
I'm here.
if
I'm just
Eden, it,
pondering right now. Sorry.
Oh,
it's all right.
never mind. Sean, you go first.
No, I was just gonna say if Eden was here, I was gonna make sure he muted.
Eden, do you think it's a good idea?
What is it?
Uh, I use pretty much almost all my gold, and I put this new sword onto my normal sword, and every time I hit an attack, I gain a +1 to hit and damage, up to +3. But every time I miss an attack, it goes back down one. If I had the +3 and I crit, I gain some health back of a D10, and whenever I have a -3 to hit, which is like for max for that same thing, and a critical miss, I take damage.
It's
There's
also a
no way that's
partially
worth it.
sentient sword, dude.
Oh yeah, it's also
Okay, the partial sentience makes it more enticing,
The
but
one major downside might not even be the gold. It's the fact that since Damien's a warlock, he can't leave that sword. It'll disappear if he walks too far away from it. So he has to sit in the shop for however long it takes to transfer it over.
Yeah,
yeah,
We don't really have that time, man.
I think it's a bad idea. But Damien, you're a silly, goofy guy, and I think you should do what you feel is best.
Okay, wait, Trent, what'd you say? Sorry, my mom called. What'd you say
Uh,
about the sword? About me being a
since
warlock?
Yeah, since you're a warlock, you cannot lay your sword down. It'll disappear if you go too far away from it.
Yeah.
So you would have to sit in this shop for however long it takes. And since this is like a really high level sword at this point, up to like a month, maybe month and a half.
Really? To wait that long? Okay, guys, come
That's
on, that's
like
not that bad.
okay, that's literally like legendary level crafting at that point. You have to
Guys,
sit there and wait.
Yeah,
listen, that's not that
no.
bad. That's not that bad. That's not that
We're
bad.
just gonna leave. This is where William leaves.
Wait,
This is where William leaves the party.
dude, nah. Okay, listen, it's not that bad.
It is that bad, dude.
No, it isn't, dude. It's not that bad.
Dude, it's gonna take us like a few months just to get to Skins' village. We're wasting time as it
Okay,
is.
dude, listen, bro. What do you have to do at your village?
A lot of things.
Do I need to be there for it?
I
I'm
mean,
being-
I'd like you to.
What do I have to do there?
I mean, I just literally like you to. I mean, it's Skins' village is pretty nice.
Man, stay with me.
I'm not sitting a whole month just for you to just for you to get a
Bro,
fucking sword.
the sword is crazy though.
There's better ones.
What are you talking about? Better ones? Is there any other swords in here, Trent?
There is, but they're not anywhere near as specialized. There's
Tell me
like
the other
basic,
swords.
basic plus ones, basic plus twos, and such.
Wait, if I just get like a normal plus 3, it's just kind of better for me.
Yeah, but it's also far
Exactly.
more expensive. Like to buy a plus two sword, straight up, is probably I think it's already like 8,000, 9,000. If you buy a
I
plus
think it's
three,
only
it's
a rare.
That's a rare, so it'd be max of
Oh,
5,000.
then yeah, about 5,000 for a plus two. But for a plus three, isn't that legendary?
Very rare
Very rare. So that's 50,000
at max.
at
But,
max. So
Yeah,
it's
but-
probably around 30, 40,000.
Isn't just the extra plus 2 just better than just being able to?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That depends on
Kinda,
how
it's pretty
often
much-
you hit, realistically.
That's fair. Man, I'm thinking about waiting a month. I'll
Hey,
have to stand there,
why
bro.
why don't we just carry carry your sword with us?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Like-
like we can work on it while we're traveling?
Yeah.
So you're gonna pay the guy who is enchanting the items to come with you across the world
How much would you want?
and follow William, and it'll take a lot longer than a month that way, because you would have to travel around with William, and he could only stop when you stopped. So he would only be able to work on your schedule. So it would probably take closer to 2.5 months, and you'd have to pay this guy for every day he followed you.
But are we teleporting?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that don't matter, bro.
The
That
enchant
doesn't-
time is what matters.
Yeah, okay. How much would you want?
Per day, this is a highly skilled enchanter, and he'd have to leave his work here. So he rubs his chin and just goes, "Alright, I'll take the deal. I'm thinking, let's call it about 20 gold a day. It's about what I make here.
15.
17, we got a deal.
16.
I'm not
Silver.
taking
I
this
make
man
fif-
away
I
from
make
this house.
15 a day here minimum. 17's the deal.
Mmm. Skins. Godwin. Nimi and the others. I'm out. Part here for a little bit. The sword's kind of crazy.
William,
I'm.
William,
know
you
what?
just come back.
I-
We're not.
I can wait. I can wait for the sword.
You
So
would
I'm
have
already-
to pay
not-
technically only like 1,200 gold extra on top of the 10,000.
Do you guys want? Do you guys want me to do that? I really am
personally-
asking you guys, not Damien.
I personally not would want to take this man away from his home, considering that what we're about to do is going to be very dangerous. And secondly, I don't think a cursed object is going to help us at all.
I'm walking around. Almost everything I'm wearing is most likely cursed. I'm a cursed being. What am I gonna do with one more extra curse? What?
I don't
give
know,
it that
die. William,
I'm
William,
already
last
dead.
time I saw die again. I don't know, William. Every last time I saw you, you went down pretty consistently.
Huh?
What did I cut out or something?
No,
I
that just
don't.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I don't.
Oh,
What? When did I go down a lot?
Also, you've literally been walking with him for like 2 months now. What are y'all talking about?
Yeah. So
I mean, like, oh
I've been
yeah, that's true. Like,
I've been
not
pretty
not
okay.
last time I saw you, but like when we were separated from Rias and all that.
All right. So listen. Let's talk to the the person with a good mind here, Godwin. What do you think I should do? Should I bring this guy with us to make my sword better?
William, you are a fool.
Take that as a no.
And yeah, and Godwin, like he didn't even look up from his scroll looking. He pretty much just called you a bitch without glancing.
Nice.
Didn't even know what you asked. Just, yeah, you stupid.
Well,
But you love me for my stupidity, don't you?
He's not even paying attention anymore, dude.
Hey, Shield, how do you feel if you got a little bit better at protecting me? Mommy? Sorry, I don't want to call you Shield.
Anything for you, darling.
Hmm. How much would it be to put an extra +1 to my shield here?
Since you already technically have a +1, I would make this actually cheaper than the 5,000 I'd probably charge you, right? So I'm gonna probably run it by about a 3,000 gold.
You know, guys, I'm thinking about keeping this shield for a while. How long would this take?
Since it's not that big of a modification compared to the other one, maybe a week.
You guys want to wait for a week?
uh,
Better
it's
than a
less
month and a
time.
half.
Yeah, it's better. All right.
But we have urgent things to do. You know what? I'll give you the
Okay,
modification.
okay, okay. You know what? Okay, you know what? No,
Huh?
we'll stay here for a week. But William Godwin, he then like looks at Biel if Biel even followed him. I don't even know if he followed him.
No, he's dead.
During this
He's
week,
dead in the lake.
during this week, you're gonna try. You two are going to make up with Jester.
Right? Yes, right.
Yes, we. Oh yeah, I forgot about doing that. We should. Yeah. Okay. God, we're dead. By the way, I have to sit here for a week, so I kind of can't. You know, if I walk
Can't.
away from my sword goes back into like a special place where I can summon it, and if I do that, I'll have to redo the sword match. Not sword. This. Oh wait, it's my shield. Does my shield want to be away from me for a little bit?
I'm not too clingy. As long as you come back,
Come back.
then fine. I can take
All
a
right.
week off.
All right. I give my sword off, my shield off, and I guess we're gonna try to make amends with Jester in this week of time.
Hold up, hold up.
What's up? What's up?
Okay, so Trent, do you think I can find the cloak of Arachnida?
What is that do?
I have resistance to poison damage. I have a climbing speed equal to my walking speed. I can move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings while leaving my hands free. I can't be caught in webs of any sort and can move through webs as if they were difficult terrain. And I can use an action to cast a web spell, and it fills twice its normal area. But once it's used, I can't use it again until the next dawn.
What rarity is it?
A very, very rare.
Alright. That minimum is like 5,000 bucks. Probably gonna
5,000?
charge you a solid 12,000.
I don't have that, bruh.
Now, looking at anything
Wait.
above rare is really not worth it because anything you guys want above rare is likely going to charge you more than you have.
Eden,
Yeah,
do you
it'd
think
be-
it's a good item to get for you?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably never gonna use it. Just like I never
Okay.
used the freaking the cloak of the bat. I used it once. I used it
Yeah.
once, and It wasn't even that good.
Eden, get a cloak of not cloak, a teleportation tablet.
Teleportation tablet. What's that do?
Just sounds like you can teleport. I really don't know.
Xander just
Um,
looked at an item and went, I should
I
get that.
I
It
mean,
probably makes you teleport.
Eden, you haven't really fallen off any cliffs yet, so the true purpose of that of that cloak hasn't really been used.
You are super wrong about that, bud. He's
I
fallen
didn't-
off
I
cliffs
never-
every session for like the past week.
Not with the cloak though.
Not
Not
with the cloak,
anymore.
but he has fallen off cliffs repeatedly. For unknown
Yes,
reasons.
but not with the cloak. And that's what I'm hinting at. So Godwin doesn't, unless Godwin just wants to do a Kratos and just take damage.
Uh, um. Well, okay. Since I can't get that, I just have some spells I want to get.
What spells you looking for?
So this one's a 4th level spell, and it's called Sickening Radiance.
Sickening Radiance. I don't necessarily need to know what that does because it's an uncommon spell, I believe. If you look at the spell scrolls, what rarity would that level 4th level spell be?
I could probably check that actually.
Because I don't know exactly what rarity those are.
It is, I think, a rare.
4th level is a rare.
Wait, never mind.
That means it's up to $5,000. Sickening Radiance probably gonna charge you around 2,500 for.
2,500. Okay. And then there's another called Immolation, and it's a 5th level though.
Still rare, but on the higher
Well,
end of it. So I'm probably gonna charge you another 4,000.
Guys, should I get Mordekainen's Private Sanctum?
That sounds
What is
nice.
that?
I can literally make it to where like creatures within 100 feet of the area that I choose just literally cannot teleport, and they cannot cast like certain types of spells or something.
That would actually be really nice. I also have some
Yeah.
silence spells, and I actually checked, and people can't cast Dimension Door with it if they're silenced.
Um,
But what level is that though?
4th.
4th.
Yeah.
Right, and you're spending like 6,000 right now. I mean, do you want to get it, Eden?
You see, I'm trying to find something that's going to be really good for fighting Rias. So yeah, I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna get Planar Binding, which is 5th level. I'm just gonna get those two
Alright,
and see how much it costs.
For any 4th level spell you pick, I'm gonna charge you 2,500. For any 5th level spell you pick, I'm gonna cost you 4,000. So
2,500. That's 6,500.
no, what?
I'm getting a 4th and a 5th level.
Oh, okay, then yeah. I thought you said 2/4 and 2/5.
No. 9,000.
Are you gonna put these in your spell book, by the way?
Yes.
Ooh. Finally, we have a wizard who's been able to do that!
Okay, so I'm gonna get Planar Binding, Mordekainen's Private Sanctum, and Sickening Radiance for 9,000 gold.
Alright.
We just made this guy, like, ultra mega rich.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's gotta be
while you guys are over there contemplating getting the sword and fixing up the mommy shield, Godwin just walks over there with 3 scrolls in his arms and like gently sits them down in front of the Arcanist.
Dude, I think my sister's
Just
gonna
these three.
be back.
By the way, how do you guys feel about playing this game Tuesday, the day after Monday? Because Blake would be staying the
Um.
night there, and it would be pretty easy to do that for him.
Uh. I'm going to Zach's. Me and
Okay,
Blake are both going to
never
Zach's
mind then.
Tuesday.
All right, anything else y'all go by?
No.
Not that I have anything to do, no, because there's no more arrows and there's no more spell slots I really want.
So William
Alright,
is having you guys sit here for a week, handing his shield over. You guys can do whatever you want in this city. You could pass the time and immediately transport forward a week, or you could sit
okay.
here and play it out
This,
if you like.
see, this part, I think, since William, we'll say that, we could say that William is just sitting around just waiting for his, shield to be done. Uh, we could maybe start, or
I'm back.
if Godwin wants to, Godwin could. Oh, never mind. Since they're both here, they could start working on working improving relations with Jester.
Yeah. Also,
Uh,
guys. Now we can enslave demons and fiends and stuff.
Wait, what?
Nice.
What'd you get?
Planar binding. What it does
Oh,
is
yeah, I
I
know what
can
that does.
bind a celestial, elemental, fae, or fiend to my service for 24 hours. And when I get 6 level spell slots, it'll be 30 days. And once I get 7, 180 days. When I get an 8, it's a year and 1 day.
See, that's
Or no,
exact.
that's
That's exactly what not Willow. Rias has been doing, but to elementals. That's
yeah.
why he harasses them so much with elementals. That exact
Dude,
setup right there.
you should get Mizium armor. Whenever
What's
you
that
are
do?
subject to a magical effect, you have to make a con save, and you succeed, you just take no damage.
Well,
But,
I do also make those with disadvantage, so
Oh
that's probably
yeah,
not the
yeah.
best idea.
completely forgot about that. Completely forgot you can't do that. Never mind.
Okay, well, so I think Skins will be out of this. He might show up at some point if he really wants, if he really needs to. But for the most part, Trent, for this, we'll just say that Skins is probably just going back into his roots and just start hunting some crane animals if there's any around.
All right. During this week, I'm gonna see what Nim's been yelling. Oh, never mind. But during this week, what is your party doing particularly? Are you just transporting forward in time here, or are you guys going to be doing any particular actions?
I want to talk to Godwin about how to help with our relationship with Jester.
You want to talk to him?
Yeah.
Godwin, how do you say we do this? How do you think we should, like, make up for blowing up a ship?
We don't. But we can apologize.
If you see what happened
Mm.
last time.
Well, maybe she's a little more willing to talk now. And if not, if she's not willing to talk by the end of the week, then there's no use. And we should spend our time somewhere else.
Yeah, I thought about buying a chromatic rose because it's a magical rose, but I noticed if she like drops it, it does like a blast of damage. So then
We probably shouldn't blow anything else up.
then, uh, do you think we should just go up to her and try to?
That's my best idea. I don't know how to deal with women and their frivolous emotions.
Well, you see, I've been divorced like once or twice, so I don't think I'm really good at talking to women either. The only one that's been okay with me is a shield, so I don't know how to talk to people like that. And BL is He drowned at a lake earlier, so I don't know what to do about that. Got any
Then I
ideas?
suppose it is just us.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna awkwardly go to Jester and try to make up, try to like apologize as much as we can.
You guys return to the little green house, eventually finding Jester in what seems to be her room, and she is painting on the walls as you guys enter once more. She looks back to see who approaches, then just kind of keeps turning away, and begins to paint slightly more angrily.
All right, listen here, bitch.
Got
No,
it.
I'm kidding.
Oh god.
Uh, oh, God, I don't know what to say. I'm
Yes,
scared.
we've come to try to make amends.
You can make amends if you bring back all the people that are dead, because yeah,
Well, that would be quite easy if you could get me the bodies, but um, I don't think you would like me very much after you saw.
I'm not really bringing them back. You're just kind of making them undead puppets. So,
Same thing.
well, we came to say sorry.
sorry is not good enough. I hate to break it to you. It's just not. They died. My friends, I sailed with them for years. Their life was on my boat. It's just not. That's not how it works. Can't kill people and apologize for it. They might
We didn't mean
work
to
for
kill
wherever
them.
you are. I know you don't mean to kill them.
We didn't even know what the thing did. We just knew that if we gave blood, we got power.
Manslaughter is still a crime.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They're dead because of your actions, and it wasn't my call to warn you. I didn't even remember it was down there, to be fair. I wrote about it and forgot. I was too focused on other things. I should have told you, going against Ford, but I had no idea. I entirely didn't remember. Look, I don't hold it against you enough to actively hurt you, but we're not going to be friends. It's not going to happen.
Would hurting us make you feel better?
Maybe, but I'm not going to try it.
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do, man? After like him not talking for a minute, I'm just gonna like slowly moonwalk through the door and just try to get back to where Skins and them are. As like
You
fast as
moonwalk out
possible.
of the door, and as you exit, are you exiting as well, Godwin?
No.
Okay.
Oh, if
As
I don't
you
see him
exit,
exit, then
okay, you don't exit then. Okay.
if he doesn't start exiting with me, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna just stay a couple feet back and I'm gonna be like I'm just gonna watch what he's doing because I'm so confused and scared.
Godwin is kind of like studying Jester at the moment and what she's painting.
What is she
Like,
painting?
At the moment,
just trying.
she seems to be painting the crash of the ship. The ship in its glory, with several highly detailed figures on it, and or not the crash of the ship, but the glory of the ship, the highest moment of it. And it seems to be that they are fighting a extremely long serpentine-like creature with hundreds of eyes across its body. I
Have
believe
I?
you've seen figures of this painting before in this campaign, but I'm not entirely
We,
certain.
I think we've seen it once. And also, would I have known this from the stories?
No, they didn't write about this part.
Got it. Yeah, it's more recent, so.
Not really, but yeah.
Well, it's more recent than the other stuff.
It's like a few months more recent,
Yeah.
but not really.
Wait, wait, is Nemi here? Nemi shows
Uh,
up? Oh,
no,
never mind. I was like, okay.
they just through the interior plane. You hear very good painting.
I hear in my head to say that. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a very good painting.
Thank you. This is
Yeah.
one of the ships that you sank.
Yeah.
Good times.
He seemed like pulling his like thing on his shirt, and he's like, uh, clear weather? Yeah. Come off the plate. No, you live here.
I don't.
Godwin, as soon as
Oh,
you
you
say
don't?
clear weather, Godwin like smacks you in the back of the head.
Um,
Listen, I will not ask for your forgiveness.
Good.
I
'Cause you're not gonna
definitely
get
will not
it.
grovel for it. But I want you to know that if I had a choice and I had a chance, I would have saved every single one of those men, even if it cost me my own life.
I'm not sure if I
It was a
believe
bad
that.
circumstance,
Yes, it was.
and you cannot deny you or the rest responsibility in what happened. I will not try to shed my own blame. I am to blame. I gave blood, and that storm killed your men. But all of your silence caused that storm as well.
God, you're not to blame. I'm definitely the one to blame. I did the most blood, and I've read about this before. I just didn't know what it did specifically. So,
All I ask is that you do not make such a hasty generalization of the kind of men we are.
You travel with me for months. It's not that hard to get a generalization of who you are. I don't believe you're terrible people. I don't believe you're the best either. Both of your past, I can very clearly see, just in the way you hold yourselves, are not the cleanest. I, but I hope you can not, once again, make hasty assumptions about items and things you see in the world. Be a responsible adventurer, far more than a very rich one or famous one. We were and are almost completely unknown to those who don't read our books. And the books are for very few people who know how to read. You can do the same thing and still be respected amongst the community of people around you. If you try and become flashy and famous, you will either die a horrible death or get many, many, many others killed in your wake. As a good old friend always says, leave every city you come to better than leave every city you come to better whenever you leave it. Just be careful, research. If you don't know what something does, probably don't touch it. We had to teach that lesson to Ford 100 times, and the big one was when a blue dragon nearly killed him. And me. Just be careful. I'm not going to hold a grudge forever, and I'm not going to hate you forever. I will still help you if you need it. That's reasonable. But like I said, I don't think I could ever be best of friends either. Unless you prove it heavily otherwise and do some great deeds. But for now, I just urge you to take caution in your work, both for yourselves and especially for those who cannot defend themselves and or have no idea what's about to happen.
uh,
Um, Go ahead, Damien. Sorry.
I was gonna ask, should we tell her about the big old elemental that we just saw? Like,
I believe that is our job, not theirs. Let her rest.
but it's good to let them know, be warned about it. You know, because it could come over here and then they get a big, dust storm on them.
I suppose then, yes, we should tell them. But, um, never mind. Yes, just tell her.
Uh, Jester, one more thing. I'm not telling you to help us with it. I just want you to know and be warned. What was the game? It was like a big air elemental with a guy on it.
It looked to be made of stone, so you assume earth
Stone.
elemental.
Earth elemental.
And it looked like a giant snake creature with metallic wings made of metal and crystal, with a rider on its back made or looking of dwarven descent and with very spiky looking armor.
I relay the information and also say, uh, just to let you know, just in case it comes over here, and so you don't be like, so you can be ready for it if it does come over here.
That is good to know. I will tell the Bright Queen whenever I have the next audience, or I'll tell the Second Hill to convey it. There's some responsible first steps to at least warn the people around you. Good day. And yes, nice weather. I'm going to keep painting now. Unless you have anything else to say.
Godwin, like, bows his head a little. Thank you for your time and your lesson. And he's going to, leave.
Thank you, Justin, for many things, and sorry again. I know it doesn't do anything, but sorry. And then he'll walk out.
Alright. You guys head back out. Anything else you'd like to do during this week of downtime?
Um, does anybody else have something they need to do? Because the only thing I have to do is like a roleplay thing.
Nah.
I'm looking for
'Cause-
items, but you go ahead and do your
By the
thing.
way, Trent, should I roll anything to see if I get like actually do anything since Skins is on like a week hunt?
I mean, you can roll some survival checks if you want to see if you hunt people or hunt creatures down and can earn
Okay,
some money.
would I
points.
Would I get advantage on this because technically I am my favorite enemies are beast.
Then sure.
Okay. How many? How many do I roll?
Roll 5, one for each day that you're, or seven because one for each day you're here.
7 rolls. Okay, fellas. I'm gonna write this down somewhere. Give me a
You're
second.
gonna
Piece of
if you
paper.
roll
Godwin.
if you roll an 18 or higher, you get a pelt of value here.
Okay.
While he's doing this, Godwin, what are you doing?
Sorry, I was listening. Um, I want to discover the location of Caleb if he is still um in the area.
He doesn't seem to be in this building, but if you ask, what's his name? Caduceus. If you ask Caduceus during your stay, he will point out that he doesn't live in this building. He lives in Essex Tower, and give you some simple directions to the tower. Following those directions, if you want to, you can easily find Caleb at Essex Tower, which looks to be just a very simple, probably the most bland of wizard towers that you've seen any wizard have so far, almost rivaling a basic candle from Rexingtrum's just plain design, made of very gray and black stones, fitting into the environment of a very dark sky. It is entirely basic. It has one tower connected to a second tower not too far away. The second one, they're connected from floor, like a tunnel on the bottom, like a small hallway at the very bottom floor. And as you go to knock on the door, And unlike the other doors you've knocked on for wizards, it's a regular door. You knock on it, some gems glow slightly and flash. You note that it feels like someone's watching you for a second before a partially floating Essek, about half a foot off the floor, unlocks and opens the door, wearing what looks to be basic wizard robes, like he was in the middle of maybe alchemical work.
Wait, who's Essek? Do I know this fellow?
Yeah, he's the guy who, when you teleported in, he was the one that was there to guide you to the house.
Oh, okay.
And Caleb lives in seemingly this place. This is what you were told, at least.
Okay. Evening, Essek.
Evening. Why are you here?
I am looking for the whereabouts of Caleb. I must speak to him.
Yeah, he's not too far. Give me a moment. And he picks up a whistle and blows it, though you hear no sound. He'll be down in a moment. For now, I am trying to create the perfect coffee, if you would like a taste. If not, you can sit in the living room. Caleb will show up whenever he's done whatever he's doing.
Well, while I'm waiting, and he walks in.
Alright. You walk inside. Essek will bring out a cup of what he calls a trial attempt 3 at perfect coffee and set it down in front of you. Caleb will very shortly, maybe 5 minutes once you enter, end up in the room. Essek now lounging with Caleb next to him on 2 armchairs situated in front of the fireplace. Caleb looks over at you. You are here for me.
Indeed.
What was that?
I felt the need to talk to you regarding our last conversation.
Okay.
So, I got him back. My brother, I mean.
That seems like a good situation. Is that what you wanted to tell me?
I'm going to kill Astrid.
No, you're not.
I am.
Why would you want to kill Astrid?
She's the next step in setting him free. After her, I will kill the other one.
Don't think your brother's under Astrid's command.
Nope. But she's still a lesser threat. And I want him to know I'm coming for him.
You think Astrid's a lesser threat than Luke?
To my brother, yes. She
And
is,
you're not going to kill Luke either. Luke, listen. He has not done anything to your brother. He probably didn't even separate you and your brother. He was probably just told to keep him. And that he would be under his service. Luke's a kind man. Astrid, she's relatively kind for her past. She's rough, but not too much so. She might not treat you kindly in your eyes, but she never particularly forced anything on you, I don't suppose. Don't see the point in
I will
killing
try
her,
to
though.
I will try to talk to Luke. But I don't see the point. I want there to be no chance of him being caught up in it again.
If you don't want there to be a chance of him getting caught up, then talking to Luke's probably your best option. If you don't talk to Luke and you attack him, first off, Luke very rarely leaves his tower. Secondly, he's a powerful archmage. He has home turf advantage if you do go on that tower, and there's next to no chance you could do anything to him in there. He has some very powerful friends. Same with Astrid. Even if you kill Luke or kill Astrid, you have to face those friends. If you manage to kill either of them, the other will be on so high alert that there's no chance you're going to get to them without breaking into the tower, and therefore forfeiting your chance. You will be hunted probably in every inch of the Empire, so if you're yourself for even a moment, you will likely be caught. Your friends have some relation with Luke already. All of these things compile into a very hard situation.
And Godwin kind of he leans forward and places his head in his hand. I am lost, Caleb. I have no direction.
Why don't
I
your
know
friends
what's
offer
next.
direction? Ask them. They'll tell you what to do. They know the people around you.
They don't know what I am.
So, how does that change anything? If you ask them, they will give you a direction. It might not be the direction you were hoping for, but if you were hoping for a direction, then you had a direction. If you just follow them, you will likely be able to learn more about yourself and your brother over time, and the difficulties you may have gone through, and or the friendships you may have forged with your own handlers. I'm solidly sure that your brother wasn't even trained by Luke. He came into the position too late to do so, really. Yeah. All these things, I don't know if it really makes sense to kill people willy-nilly like that. You're a smart man. Your friends are smart, sometimes. If you talk to them and then decipher their words to the greatest effective move, I'm sure you'll be able to find some sort of path. If you want out of the Volstrucker, I can get you out of the Volstrucker. Astrid and Luke, they wouldn't stop me from taking you out.
I must wait. What's Blake's character's name again? I forgot. Wasn't
He
it like
never
Liam or
told
something?
us. He literally never said. I have no idea.
He said Fabian.
Fabian, he did say that. I was
Fabian.
wrong.
There we go.
I did
Okay.
not hear, or not hear. I didn't remember him ever saying that. But yeah, I remember calling Fabian because I heard him wrong.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so he's Fabian. That's his name. I'm brain dead. Don't worry about it.
I will talk to Fabian after I talk to the others. And I suppose I will be back.
Come back whenever you want. I'm almost certain you're going to be able to rejoin that. Not rejoin, but teleport into that circle. Yeah, actually, it's probably smarter to show you this one. If you teleport there, they'll kill you. If one of us aren't standing there, therefore, I would rather you not have to call us over every 3 days. He stands up. Essek begins hovering beside him. And Essek just leaves. Essek goes back to whatever he was doing before you guys entered. and Caleb walks you around and through the small hallway into probably his section of the tower that he has rule over. And you note the sudden change from a extremely cozy but clean environment to a far more chaotic and left just unchecked environment. Like there's alchemical supplies sitting on the coffee table kind of environment. But he leads you up a few staircases, too many to be in the tower, which is a wizard trick, obviously. But eventually, walking you inside what looks to be a very simple room, etchings on the floor, dome shaped with a carbon black walling. He looks down and points at it. Copy down that circle. You did teleports in whenever you want. Try and give warning, but we'll hear you if you enter, so it won't be that big of a surprise. You're one of very few who have the knowledge of the circle, so it'll be either you or one of the other people. Try and give warning, though. It's not super big deal if you don't, especially if you're in danger, but I like to know when guests enter my house.
Right.
Alright, so now you have a circle to Caleb's thing,
Oh yeah.
and he begins to turn back around and walk back out of the room after you're done scribing it. So anything else you'd like to talk about, or can I get back to my business?
You may go back to your business. Thank you for your time.
Fair enough. And he heads down the staircase. What were you doing,
Godwin's
David?
gonna. Oh, sorry.
I just want to ask if I can get one more item, and if so, I'm gonna. Can I get the Hook of Fisher's Delight?
Does that just let you fish things that are...
It's just a hook on a fishing pole, and if I fish for an hour, I roll a d6. On a 6, I get a magical item, which not magical item, magical fish that has like small properties, and I have to roll a d20, and there's only 4 kinds of fish. And after I do that, I have to wait the next dawn to do it again.
What is the 4 types of fish?
On a 1 through 10, it gives a day's worth of nourishment to one creature that eats it, and that's it. 11 through 14, once removed, it has a terrible taste, and if I throw it up to 120, I can throw it up to 120 feet. Targeting a creature the thrower can see, the target must make a DC 15 strength saving throw, be knocked prone, and then disappears. 15 to 18, it squirms free, sprouts wings, and follows you around, and it plays a little tune in Aquan. It disappears after 2d4 hours or reduced to 0 hit points. The fish uses the Quipper stat block, but it can breathe air and has a flying speed of 30. And 19 through 20, it provides a day's worth of nourishment to one creature that eats it and gains 2d10 temporary hit points to that creature.
What rarity is that? Common?
It's rare.
There's no way that should be rare.
That thing is rare. You should make this thing cheaper than rare,
Dude,
bro.
80 gold. That's
80
it.
gold?
80 gold.
Why is it? Okay, I have to be reading something wrong because it's a rare.
There ain't no chance that should be rare. I'm gonna look it up here in a minute, but
Yeah,
what's
but
it called?
Hook of Fisher's Delight.
Okay.
The hook must be tied to the end of the fishing line and immersed in enough water to fill at least a 10-foot cube. At the end of each uninterrupted hour of immersion, roll a d6. On a 6, a floppy 6-inch magical fish appears on the end of the hook. The color and properties of the conjured fish are determined by rolling on the Hook of Fisher's Delight table, which I just told you. Once the hook conjures a fish, it cannot do so until the next dawn.
Why do you say conjures like that?
Because conjures. I'm sorry.
I'm
Conjures.
sorry. What do you mean? I'm
sorry.
sorry, bro.
I'm sorry. But it also 1 through 10 it rots after 24 hours if I don't eat it in time. 11 through 14 does not. It just disappears after I throw it. 15 through 18 it disappears after 2d4 hours or reduces 0 hit points. And then through 20 it also disappears after 24 hours. It becomes rot. It rots. That's
Yeah,
But
the
I don't
only
eat it
ones
this
that
time.
don't like rot are the ones that make them make saving throws, and you have to use like a whole action to knock them prone. So it's not that big of an issue.
Yeah. 15 to 18 just disappears soon.
Yeah.
So can I get this for 80 gold?
Sure.
All right. And is there any lakes I can go fishing at?
Yeah, there's a fountain that you can go fishing in.
Can I go fishing that?
Yeah, I mean it's the easiest source of water, and all you need is water.
All right.
So yes.
How many times can I roll this d6? It's until I roll a 6.
That depends. I mean, technically, you're spending your entire time here, so
How-
you can
How many is that?
just roll. Okay, if you spend your entire day fishing, you're going to get a fish every day, almost guaranteed.
At least once.
So just roll the d20 7 times,
Okay.
and the only ones that matter are the ones that do the strength save or knock prone.
Well, actually, I'll keep them all because no matter what,
They
I'm gonna.
rot.
Yeah, but I'll eat them anyways.
I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is the only ones that you need to make sure you mark down having is those knock prone fish.
That's a 12. That's the one that doesn't. That's the one that doesn't disappear. That's the one
Don't
that.
worry about rolling that. I'm
Oh.
going to go back to Eden here.
I don't know, I'm just gonna roll these.
All right, Eden, what was
Okay.
your last thing?
Godwin is just gonna return to all the other fellas.
Okay. You
You see me-
That was
The Fallon.
like I guess I did this at the end of the week when they're done with their hunting and fishing.
Sure. Alright, you return, and after hunting and fishing for weeks at a time, how many above 18s did you get, Sean, on survival checks?
Hello, am I unmuted right now?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. Okay. So I have a few pelts, but I also have. I did roll a natural 20 on one of them. What do I do get for that?
Okay. So, the natural 20, you find a rare albino version of whatever creature it is you're hunting. And in this case, it is a bear pelt. A dire bear pelt, even. And the albino dire bear pelt, I will let you sell for a solid 200 gold. All of the other pelts you receive, I'm going to let you sell for 20 gold.
Okay. 200 gold for the albino, and the others, nondescript pelts that Skins has just been gathering over
Nondescript
over this thing.
bunches of pelts that you can sell.
5 nondescript pelts.
Okay.
All right. After fishing, hunting, and pelting,
Uh,
what,
Alright.
Damien?
on the last day, which will be whenever Godwin shows up, I did. Okay, so I rolled 2. The only ones that still are around are 2 strength save fishes, and I rolled a cripper with both 4s as 8 hours. So I'm gonna have a cripper just hanging around me.
All right. So when you guys meet up on your final day and go and fetch your shield, you're being sung along with a little fishy tune song in the background. They're basically singing like Gangnam Style, but they're like, but they're doing William. They're going Gundam Williams stuff or like stupid stuff. They're basically just they're just putting crawfish in.
bro. That's what I did on the first, like the third session was do game
Yeah.
style.
They're basically just replacing half of the words with the song with crawfish or William. And they're not even like putting. Sometimes they add like lordly titles. It's weird. And it just basically, if you listen to any like old, like 2005 pop music, basically, if you listen to that and half the words are replaced with Lord William or William the Great or Crawfish the Great, stuff like that. But you receive your shield, which looks slightly sturdier, even though it was a dragon scale before. Now the dragon scale seems to have bands of blue ice across it. Even sturdier than before, and actually frozen in a solid chunk. Adding more defense. And as soon as you put it back on, you hear a sigh of relief from the shield. That was too long. Let's not do that again. Thank you.
I know, I was just gonna make you just more sturdier. I was waiting at you, mommy.
Yes, I think I am able to do a lot more now.
And I will Gangnam style my way to Skins, making him remember a very old memory.
Well, before before you start Gangnam Style to a door, Skins like opens the door. You see on him is like a bunch of gigantic pelts. One is specifically a pure white, nicely skinned bear pelt of what seems to be a dire pelt, and a few others just like hanging around his shoulders. You also see like on his face a little bit of a scar that healed up. It is quite huge for on his cheek, but it's healing up pretty nicely. Skins like looks around, sees Williams like Gangnam Style.
The glasses are back on too.
It's like, oh god, what did I? You know what? No, that week was well deserved. And then Skins is just gonna go into his room and like try and put all these stuff in like a bag.
All right.
I'm gonna chase him down into his room,
Still dancing.
dancing as slow as possible. That way,
You harass Skins with dancing, but once you guys are packed up and ready, is there any last things you want to do before, I'm assuming, teleporting to Rexingtrum?
Hey, God, is there anything you want to do, friend?
No.
All right.
All right.
Your party gathers up and waits on Galwin to slowly cast the ritual spell. And when the lights flash, very quickly jump through and are now in the Tower of an Archmage. Which, as soon as you enter, you hear a loud noise as a wind tunnel teleports through alongside you. And the room begins to deepen in a red, and fog begins to be let out of invisible cracks in the walls. I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
God dang it, Trent!
Y'all
Oh, my
warned
fit.
the Archmage! I gave you so many opportunities!
my fish house last
Yeah, I
night.
forgot we had to warn him.
Oh yeah, your Archmage, not your Archmage, your fish comes through and immediately falls unconscious.
Wait.
Uh,
I'm gonna wait. I gotta see what its stat block is.
You're really gonna roll for a fish,
Okay.
bro?
Yes, I am gonna. I'm gonna roll for a fish.
That's
bro.
a 22 for the first roll,
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna help with the second roll.
and an 8 for the second roll.
Yeah,
An 8 for my Cripper, so he also goes unconscious. I made
uh.
a 16.
you go unconscious.
Oh, okay. Well, I go unconscious then.
Alright. Your entire party walks through. Well, actually, not 20 on Nim. And except for Nim, immediately pass out to the fog, slumping to the floor. While later, you eventually come back to consciousness. And now the living. Well, yeah, but Nim's still awake. But you guys eventually come back to consciousness in the living room of Luke's little establishment here. Seemingly been knocked out by some knockout gas, but not harmed in any way by it.
Wait, wouldn't Godwin automatically succeed that since he doesn't need to breathe?
Yes, but most gases, specifically this one, don't necessarily need to be breathed in. They kind of just force their
Okay.
way into your body. Like,
Yeah, like Cloud Kill, you don't need to breathe that
yeah,
in. I
Cloud Kill, you don't
I
need to be
think.
breathed in. This is
Oh, okay.
this is
Okay.
literally just a extremely powerful sleep skill. Like, multiple
Okay.
sleep spells stacked on top of each other kind of level.
Well,
But
too bad you're not magically immune to that.
you guys
Okay.
missed the walkthrough. Yeah, Nim, what you basically know, instead of just waking up, literally like 5 seconds later, a armored up, like with mage armor, Luke rushes through the door with several other cloaked figures behind him. They then immediately disappear as soon as they note who it is, and Luke breathes a sigh of relief and begins to slowly drag you, his halfling self, down the stairs with Nim, I'm assuming, helping. And it takes you about 10 minutes to wake up. So, yeah.
The fish starts playing music again.
I want to add one more thing. I want to ask one more thing. Is this a magical sleep?
Yes.
I'm not
Damien
sleeping.
can't be sleep.
Oh, yeah, so Nim couldn't even fall asleep. Couldn't even try. Because,
Me and Nim are both awake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're a half-elf.
Half
I'm
elf.
half elf. I still get that
I always
feature.
forget that you're a half-elf.
I know.
Yeah, I always thought you were a human, bruh. I didn't even know you were a
So-
Everyone
half-elf.
thinks
I mean,
you're a human. Even me.
Waste A wasted nat 20, but I mean, it's technically counted as a nat 20 anyway.
Yeah, me and
Yeah.
Ninjas are awake.
Never mind. So, William, BL, Godwin, and Fabian fall asleep. But the rest of
Losers.
you two specifically, kind of just watch your friends pass out to the effects with a kind of ruffled up, what's his name, Luke, in the tower at the moment. He said, once you guys are all awake, he comes back in the room, and at this point has straightened himself up slightly, and sits down at one of the chairs. Why did none of you want me? None of you.
Didn't even know where we were going.
You jumped into a teleport circle without having a clue where you were going to end up.
I trust my friends.
That
I
is
was
a
severely
stupid
hungover.
mistake.
My fault.
Sure.
I'm still dancing.
Do you need something?
We were just trying to. I thought we were just traveling here for some reason. I don't know what we were doing.
Well, if I remember correctly, sorry, I'm still a bit drowsy. Uh, I think we just wanted to come back here because it's the closest place to my village, I think.
Oh, well then, yeah, okay. Have fun, I guess. I don't know. Like, yeah, you do understand. Where did you say your village was?
Uh, uh, Skins just Skins just like it just tries to speak, but he's too drowsy to even come up with words. But then like in a moment of drowsiness, he kind of like just he thinks for a second. He's like, oh, I know. Skins like grabs out his backpack and takes out the gigantic albino bear pelt and looks at Luke a little bit drowsiness as still. You want to buy this?
No, I'm good. So I don't need a tire or bear pelt. Where's your village, Skins? This is actually
Oh.
something you might want to know.
Uh, Emerald Valley.
So that is, if I'm not mistaken, between the Kryn Dynasty and the Nadalian Empire, yes?
Yeah.
Well, something you should know. The king is dead.
Wait.
The prince has taken over and has declared war on the Menagerie and second-handedly on the Kryn Dynasty. They launched a northern attack to which a goblin village was subjected as part of the blow. They did not kill everyone there, as far as I've heard. I had no hand in the attack. But the village was razed in portion. The goblins, being resourceful enough, however, are still at large, as it's called. They marched in, and the scouts had seen them coming. The village was empty, and for now, I have heard no word of a massacre. You might want to move your people, Skins.
Skins, the drowsiness had like worn off after hearing that dreadful noise, but a sense of relief kind of falls over him when he was told that no one there was at least captured or taken, or murdered as because they found the scouts. Okay, well, I was just gonna go out there for a visit, but now things are more important. Skins is then immediately going to grab William's bag of holding off of his side and immediately just open Bat, where Bat comes flying out. Skins gets on Bat, although inside. Uh, right. I want to get going. Yeah. And Skins is going to start walking out with Bat like immediately.
Why don't I teleport you closer, just directly onto the village? They will not
Skin's kinda
attack
like-
you because I will be there. You will be amidst probably Dwendalian men. Probably the ones that raise the village. If you can control your anger, I can take you directly there.
Skins like stops like before he like leaves the door with Bat. Then looks back at Luke. You kind of see like worry is still in his eyes. His orange beady eyes are kind of seem like they're in the verge of angry tears. He walks over to Luke, not looks up at him because he's halfling. Is he shorter?
He's
I
shorter
forgot
than
how
you, yeah.
short he is. Yeah, he's shorter than me.
He's like
So
3
yes,
foot tall.
yeah, Skins is gonna look down at him a little bit. I'd appreciate it, and if you, I, unlike a lot of people here, I can somewhat control my anger. I just need to know if my friends and family are safe. So if you can, teleport us there.
It is technically risky, but very little so, considering I know the area enough. I had no say in the attack, but I was informed of it. I had no way to communicate with you. I was both forbidden to do so by Astrid, knowing who you guys were. But also, I technically didn't even really know if you were around all that much. I didn't know where you were, didn't know what you were doing. And somehow, something blocked my magic for a portion of time. I'm not sure exactly what that was either. Either way, gather around. It won't take but a moment. And as you guys gather around, he quickly casts a spell, beams of light shooting off the floor, and wiping you slowly from existence, teleporting you to the other side. And what you know is a more horrific version of what you originally saw the first time your village was
I'll take my
burned by
batteries,
a
I'll be right.
fire. Okay. Sean and his batteries, bro.
Wall.
I'm using the bathroom real quick. BRB.
Damien, I'm gonna kill all the archmages.
I'm gonna. Oh, that's your plan, dude.
I'm
At the
I'm
moment.
back. I'm back.
I like it. William will not help you because he actually cares about like half of these people.
Yeah. I'm sure he does.
Dude. Yeah, I like how all this entire time of this like serious conversation about Goblin Camp being destroyed, you guys hear Gangnam Style from a fish.
Please tell me William stopped dancing when he heard
Nope.
the serious news.
Nope.
It's good.
He gives
Oh my
he gives it
God.
like a serious worried face, but cannot stop dancing. He actually looks worried as he cannot stop dancing.
It's
Oh,
right here.
bro. No, he went to use the bathroom. I imagine that like Goblin and Skins are like doing really important stuff, hunting, talking about their stuff, and then William's out here. They never finish. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
Oh
Talking about,
God.
bro.
Okay. Well, I'm back. Yeah. Hi.
Alright.
Continue.
What you see is a more horrifying version of what you saw before. You saw before military goblins burnt to a crisp. Close to 100 of them. Now, you see goblins, most of which aren't prepared for any sort of battle, burned to a crisp. Very similarly. In a huge pile. Slightly to your left. You know there's probably 50 goblins there. It's not as many, but you also note that they were likely civilians and elderly that could not run away quick enough and were prepared to run away and opted to end up just staying here and seeing what fate would bestow upon them rather than die in the woods. You know probably a solid 1,000 righteous brand, 2,000, many of which are wounded or dead. On a small triage area, and not 2,000 dead, but I mean there's probably about 2,000 Righteous Brand left, and probably about 400 who are dead or injured. About a 50-50 split down the middle of that 400. And you note several higher up general-like commanders in the mist shouting orders and commands. Several of them, which is to burn different locations. And you even hear what seems to be like a town crier of sorts, but specifically for this little segment of military, crying out to all who can hear to gather at the king's palace as they are about to burn it down. You note that your father obviously isn't inside, as none of his guards are there, and none of the guards are on the corpse pile either. That means they likely got away. However, people begin to gather up and march towards your father's little castle area. Looking into the woods, you, with a high enough perception, note several scout figures still hidden there at the outskirts, watching with downed faces. Their faces look dreadful. They're bloody, and they are obviously have lost all hope. And seeing what's about to happen, even more so for their sovereignty. This is likely the end of the village proper, unless you rebuild from whatever ashes remain. Which technically isn't that hard, but still, devastating loss.
As this scene is happening, Skins looks at the pile of corpses, then looks at the village, mostly ablaze, and hearing the castle being about to be next. You kind of see Skins like he's breathing heavily. Like, his eyes are widened. You can see his orangish eyes just completely now with a nice bead of black in them. He's breathing heavily. And it almost sounds like he's trying to speak, but nothing can come out. But then when his beady eyes, go over to go into the tree line, seeing the scouts, It almost kind of works to calm him, but his eyes go back to the flame. He then looks around at all the Righteous Brand, seeing the dead bodies, some of the wounded. In deep down, he knows that at least this village didn't go down without a fight. But once he thinks that, he just looks back at the 50 dead bodies. Are they all burned, or are they...
They're mostly burned. Like, some portions of them are unburned, but, like,
Okay.
none of them are left as actual burial objects. They just burnt them to get rid of the corpses, or at least most of the corpses. And also likely like, oh, some people like to be burnt as a part of a religion, so these guys are barbaric. Let's do that.
Yeah, and Skins just stares at that for a moment once more. He puts a hand on his chest, tightly clutching it. He tries clearing his throat. And then he looks at all the high-ranking men. He just stares at them for at least like a solid good 30 seconds. Remembering, having a mental image, keeping those images in his head, and he notes them down. Not like he writes them. He's noting them mentally. Then Skins kind of like looks at William, looks at Godwin, looks at Nim, then looks at Luke. Though his eyes don't have any resentment towards Luke. There's no anger. There's not really much there. Skins kind of like looks around, thinks for a second. He doesn't want to just go out straight towards the forest and just by himself. But Skins is going to go into his pouch, get out a firework, He's gonna put on his bow, aim up at the sky, and then releases the bow. And when the firework reaches about maybe 300 feet in the air, a it explodes, and then a greenish goblin face uh, appears in the sky.
You do that, and many of the righteous brand turn to look at it, confused. And the scouts, you note one of their faces disappear, and then another and another, as they run back into the woods, probably recognizing who you were at that instant. The guards don't stop, though. It's more of a memorial to the testament that was your childhood in this place. And your images skyrocket back as you walk through the burning city, the burnt city at least, not the portion that are still on fire, as that is too dangerous for you at the moment. You note that the king's palace, from a distance, begins to slowly burn and smolder, but that's not really where your mind immediately goes. You move a little bit quicker, looking left and right, heading toward the back end of the little goblin village here. Your eyes begin to water as the steam begins to fill the air, and the emotions begin to skyrocket. Running toward the back end of the city at this point, kind of gasping for air amongst the smog of the actual still burning portion. Taking the risk, you have to know, as quick as possible. You look out back and note 2 cabins. Both mostly undisturbed at the moment. Except, a corpse hanging from the door with a giant lance stabbed through it. And you see Henry, the lesser of your 2 training mentors, went out fighting as a cavalry charge lanced him through and left him hanging. The house is unburned, and there's no sign of your other mentor. So you hold hope for her at least, though your resentment grows. And you look at a small contingent of men walking up the hill from that direction. None of them on horseback. It wasn't these men, but they didn't stop it, and they're part of the army. And you also note that they're carrying bags of what seem to be valuable loot.
Skins just stares at them. You see for a small second, his hands kind of protrude an electrifying discharge. Both hands, actually. His eyes turn slightly blue as the resentment in him grows. Anger is growing. His beating heart seeing the death of a mentor and the death of a friend. It quickens. It is on par with what feels like a panic attack, but mixed with anger, hatred. Skins just stares at the men. He goes to grab his bow, but then he thinks for a moment. He then looks back at Henry. He then walks over to Henry's body, gently placing a hand on Henry's thigh. He then speaks in Goblin and says, "You were a true friend. You were a true hero. And you were a great mentor. You did not deserve a traitor's death."
William, hearing this, will, because he knows Goblin, he'll get Skins, tear up, and give him a hug.
Luke steps back for a moment and shakes his head, confused. Your friend doesn't have to be dead. The attack happened. The city's still burning. It's not been more than 10 days. Do you have a diamond?
Look at
When-
Numi.
Yeah, when Luke says that, Skins like his eyes widen even more, even if they really couldn't. They look back. They look back at Luke, and then immediately back at Nimi. His eyes are, for the first time that Nimi has ever seen, to be pleading. He doesn't say a thing. He just stares at Nimi.
William is saying that Skins is not speaking. Do you have a diamond?
Do you have a 500 gold diamond specifically?
500 gold, meaning can you cast like
'Cause it
Revivify and
needs-
stuff like that?
Revivify can't be cast. It's beyond Revivify. It's Raise Dead specifically.
Should we pick up food?
Luke literally just kind of like looks at you guys. For being as powerful of Vinches as you are, you don't really think out the box all that much, do you? You kind of just accept death for what it is. Most people would fight it for every ounce of their being. Do you
I
do
mean-
you not have a diamond, Nim?
I mean, I'm pretty sure she does,
I don't know.
because I mean, I'm pretty sure she
Did
would have
she
bought
buy,
a lot.
Did she buy one after Rias though?
I mean, technically,
Not a
She shoulda-
500 one.
wouldn't technically Nim also get like a portion of my money? Because technically she was gone during that arc.
True, but that wouldn't have changed her buying it or not. She has money. If you don't have diamonds, well, it's a bummer. Yes, but it still isn't the end. This attack happened 6 days ago. You have 4 days. Run into the woods. See if you can find your goblins. If not, if you don't want to do that at least, I could just teleport you back to Rexington. Tomorrow. I don't have the ability to do it today. And then the next day, teleport back. The only risk then is that his body is disposed of by that point.
Skins is gonna think for a moment. His mind kind of wanders to Jolts. Skins continues to think. His eyes did seem kind of disappointed at Nim, but not so much. He at least respected the sentiment. Skins then starts thinking more and more. Okay. Skins is going to look at VL immediately. Then look at the lance. Grab the lance and just start pulling it out of him, throwing it to the side, and is going to
As
try
you
and lift him
pull
up.
the lance out of him, one thing you know, something that gives away who likely did this. Likely the one leading the War Brigade North, or at least the one who commanded it. You slide it out, and a crown you see emblazoned on the side, and then another, in a pattern far more decorative than any normal soldier would have. And even a name, in very tiny handwriting, nicely written, the very pommel where you're pulling. Prince Dwindle the King. You lift Henry's arm or body over your shoulder as he begins to slump, stopping his body from any more harm.
Okay. Skins like looks at it, looks at the pommel, glaring at it. He has a name. But Skins just throws the lance away, looking at Biel. Without a single word being said, Skins runs up to Biel and just pretty much tries to drag BL over to Henry's body, and looks up at BL. Pick.
BL will shoulder the body, transforming to make the weight even easier on himself.
Then Skins thinks for a moment. Grabs bat out of William's thing because and he's trying to remember places of where safe havens would be or any outpost. He kind of gets an idea of where one is. He starts flying up bat, looking down at everyone else. I'll try and keep up if you can.
All right. So you're running through the woods to one of the locations that your village may have hidden to. Biel charging behind, carrying a broken, stabbed, deceased Henry. I'm assuming the rest of your troop follows behind as well. Running into the woods, Luke shakes his head and shouts out, "I cannot go with you. Hope to see you again relatively soon. Don't get yourself killed fighting useless men." And you see he walks back into the encampment. You run through the woods, flying for you. The light begins to darken as you travel for 1 hour. 2 hours. The midday turns to dusk. The dusk to darkness before you find the campfire you're looking for. As you run up, you see, almost outlined in a perfect hue, a friendly Jolts leaned over a figure. He works hastily, casting simple spells, and seemingly spare the dying most of all, and using a healer's kit to wrap bandages on a heavily wounded figure. You see other goblins, another 800 goblins, gathered around a large clearing on another plateau not too far away from your village. This is a temporary position, you know. They will be spotted here eventually. And so the people are still ready for movement. As you rush up, you see Jolts spin around to look at you, seeing the incoming party with his relatively high perception for goblins. And you note the figure lying on the grass under his healing is your own father, unconscious and heavily wounded and bleeding, though not seeming near death. As you turn, Jolts looks at you, shock and fear immediately, but calms and surprise after that. And he calls out to the rest of the goblins, "The prince has arrived! All hail the savior!" Perhaps. And I think that's where we're going to end this session. With you returning to your goblin village after a devastating destruction, your father lying on the edge of death, and Henry possibly as well, though he is already currently deceased.
The suckers. Motherfuckers!